Again, first episodes were a little bit just whatever to me. They're just whatever. But for episode 3, let's get into the meat of this, man.
Yes.
Episode 3 to me is a clear, like disrespect to George Lucas's vision and what the point of Star Wars, I mean, the original trilogy and the prequels were about. And I don't care. Again, I'm gonna get labeled this and that by saying we don't like it. I know that if you say you don't like Star Wars now, you're a bigot, you're racist, you're whatever. You're whatever that's cool. Call me what you want. But like that stuff, whatever, I don't care about. But the biggest issue that I had with this series, obviously, is that these twins were created through the Force, like by this, immaculate Force conception. Yeah. Which only was Anakin. Anakin was the original one to do that because he's the chosen one. Yeah. And if you know anything about your lore, I guess depending on the comic book or where you get your, there's 2 accepted ways that he was born. It was either Plagueis in the Legacy series. He was trying to create a dark side entity, and the Force responded back by creating the chosen one. Okay. Anakin, right? And then also, if you read the Darth Vader comic book that came out, I don't know, within the last 10 years. They said that Sidious implanted, the baby through the Force into Shmi, right? Yeah. And those are the 2 accepted, ways Anakin was born. But he was a chosen one, and that's the way it was supposed to be. It's special for him. Yeah. But now, 90 years prior to that, this persecuted group coven of witches in the middle of bumfuck Outer Rim,
bumfuck
galaxy, they do it without a problem. Right? Yeah. They do the exact same thing, but hey, we did it first because we're better or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So we did exactly.
Or we came up with the idea first, and you copied us. Whatever may end up once everything's said and done.
Exactly. Yeah. So the chosen one doesn't matter at this point. The reason why he's the chosen one doesn't matter now because of this coven of witches. Like they already did it. Not a big deal, right? So how many chosen ones are there? Were these supposed to be the first chosen ones before Anakin, or I don't know? Yeah. So. It's ridiculous, right? And then and you take into account like all the other like if you're looking at like the lore, Plagueis, his master Tenebris, you have like Bane, like all these other very, very powerful Sith lords that couldn't figure out how to do this, and this random ass coven of witches just did it no problem. Like it wasn't an issue, and it's like the biggest feat in the Force that could be done, they did it no problem. And they were the first to do it. So it ruins the lore of why Anakin is special as the chosen one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's pretty effed up. To be someone that says, I respect Star Wars, I respect the legacy, I respect George Lucas, but to create something that completely like changes it is like it's awful. Yeah. It's completely awful. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually going to
devil's advocate.
I am going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to push back, but I'm doing this just to give the audience obviously something to think about, right? Okay. Because I kind of feel the same way in a sense. Now, I've said it numerous times how I feel about what they've done with Luke Skywalker and his legacy and what he was supposed to be with the Jedi and the Force, and they kind of took it away and they're going to give it to somebody else. Yeah, not happy with it, obviously, right? Same way, or even probably to a greater extent that you're not happy with to this. Maybe. But just to play devil's advocate, I suppose, I don't know if I want to say necessarily that it takes away from Anakin's specialness in a sense. I don't remember the name. I've been, like I said, I've been doing a lot of research and watching other like shows and podcasts and hearing their reviews and takes on it. The Force seems like it always wants to balance itself out, right? So when you, like you were saying, like when someone trying to create like a dark, or trying to create life, the Force decided to create Anakin, or maybe if the Force didn't create him, one of these other Sith lords ended up creating him. But I guess maybe the interesting to think about is there have been twins born within Star Wars canon, right? So the ones that are canon are, well, I guess these twins in the Acolyte show, I guess they're canon, and then obviously Luke and Leia, right? I know they also did it, and again, this is coming from another podcast. I can't remember the name of it right now. That they did it in Star Wars Visions. Those two twins.
Oh yeah,
they were created the same way apparently, but they're not really canon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was just a cool animated show. Didn't really mean anything, right? But I guess the interesting thing is you have these two twins that are in the Acolyte show, and one is clearly kind of leaning more towards the dark side, Mae or whatever her name is. And then the other one, Osha, is, I mean, it's hard to say she's leaning towards the light side because she's not even really, embracing her Force powers, which I imagine there's probably going to be some big, Yas Queen moment, at the end of it where she embraces her powers and she's doing all this stuff. So wait for that. That's a prediction right there. Coming. I swear there's probably going to be some big thing where she's going to be like, yes, I am fantastic. And she just overpowers everybody. That's going to be great. If they do that,
that's probably going to happen.
Walk away from Star Wars if they do that.
I'm already prepared to walk away now, but that's probably because they're already like, oh, Osha hasn't used the Force in 3 years. Well, the call's for it now. So
yeah, and then it's just gonna floodgates are gonna open kind of thing. But again, the point that I was trying to make was, one twin is light, one twin is dark. So like I said, the Force is all about balance. Or whatever, but then you do have Anakin, who is this one child. There wasn't like a twin of him born somewhere. Although I feel like now that I said it out loud, that could be a thing. Oh, there's been another Anakin
over in that
kid on the other side of the galaxy.
Universe.
Right. It was always a balance. But those two twins, those two kids, one light, one in dark. Anakin is just one kid with the light and the dark inside of him. You know what I mean? So he's always at one point. For a good portion of his life, he was on the light side with the Jedi. Then he becomes, he joins the Sith for a big portion of his life. He is the embodiment of that good and bad, So for that reason, the only thing I'm saying is like I don't want to say that takes away from Anakin's story. I see what you're saying though, 100%. Like it, when they said it in the Phantom Menace, like the boy has no father. It's like. What's happening right now? Like this is crazy,
and this has never happened in the history of the Force. Ever.
At least that we know of at this point in time. You know what I mean? So it really makes it seem like too. The bad thing is like just whoever's in charge, and it's been like that way in comic books too. Just whoever's writing it is gonna make up, whatever they want to make up. Depending on how much they like so and so. You know what I mean? Like on some fights, this character is gonna win, and it sounds completely crazy. I remember that hype. We're going off on a tangent. I apologize. You were talking about a long time ago. There was a comic book you were talking about. You were reading with I think Hyperion, and that he killed the Hulk. I don't know if it was like a what if ish kind of thing.
It was I forgot. It's around the time I stopped reading comic books, but I think it was like when we started the podcast.
It was a long time ago, but I remember it because he kills the Hulk, and I think he killed Galactus, I want to say. Like he didn't he like fly through his head or something crazy or something like just that, all kinds of crazy, whatever. And my point is it just depends on who's writing it. So that's what Star Wars, it's open to you right now. Like these people are running it right now. So we just got to wait a few years until they're gone. And then someone else is going to rewrite it and do something different, fix it, do something else. It's hard to say, but getting back to my original point, like I said, I don't want to say it takes away from Anakin's uniqueness in the sense that he is the embodiment of light and dark, as opposed to normally or whatever in the Force, one person is light, one person is dark. And he is both of them. So it's kind of cool in that sense.
That's cool, I guess. But the Force Immaculate Conception, that's my issue. Is that it was special because he was the chosen one, because that's never happened before. Now it's like, nah, not really. He's just the chosen one because we said it now, because he just happened to be at the right time, right place. I don't know.